eu sou Luca, esse é meu trabalho para o professor Fábio Malini. Eu vou fazer o perfil da Linda Bergmark, namorada do meu tio, né, minha quase tia aí. Então, é isso. Eu e o Lucas Fiorotti nessa. O Lucas Fiorotti vai ser responsável pela edição, eu por fazer a entrevista e pela matéria, juntamente a ele também. E agora eu vou começar a falar inglês. Okay, the first question that I have, I'd like to know how is... I told you this after, sorry, before, but I would like to know how it sounds, the language to you, the Portuguese to you, and how does your language sounds uh, against other languages. Like, there's a poet, a Brazilian poet, that he has a phrase that he talks about the mango tree. Mm-hmm. And he says, like, when I hear mango tree in English, it isn't the same about when I hear mangueira, that is the same as mango tree, but in Portuguese. Because he says that mango tree is just a tree, and mangueira is like the tree that has in my grandma's house. You know, it's the same thing, but it's a different word. And the fact of being a different word and in a different language, your natural language, it's something that really gets the heart of this poet. And I would like you to dissertate about this and just talk about how your language sounds to you, how other languages and the same words in this language, in those languages.
It's a vast subject, but yeah, I've started approaching Brazilian by the music, so it's really by singing Brazilian, or Portuguese Brazilian, and it's a very musical, round language, and just hearing it I didn't understand at all in the beginning. It sounded very round and a bit sensual, also nasal a bit, which can be a bit surprising because that's something you don't want in singing at all. But so yeah, as I said, I was just singing without really understanding, and really understanding also the meaning behind it. So I did concerts where I sang both in Swedish, English, and in Portuguese. And everybody, each time, said that it sounded so much better when I sang in Swedish. And I think it's because, as you said, there was emotion. Really, each word had such a deep meaning to me. And when I sang in Portuguese at the time, they didn't have that meaning at all. It was just sounds, basically. And I knew what it meant, but not really deeply.
Yeah, you don't feel the word.
Yeah, exactly. So the sound was not at all, my singing, my expression was not at all the same. And I think that's the emotional charge to the words. It's the same also if you're going to do a therapy, that it's so much more important to speaking your language, because you have that deep, those emotions tied to every word, the memory, the references that you don't have in new languages.
But
So
you think that you have developed some connection with words in Portuguese?
yes,
There's some words that you like. What is your favorite word in Portuguese? Like some that just, I don't know, something that just pops in your head right now when I ask your favorite word, like the first thing that pops up.
Okay, this will be so gringo. So I mean, I think every foreigner will say the same thing. It's saudade.
Yeah.
But it's the thing that pops. No, it's beautiful because it doesn't exist in other languages, and it has such poetic meaning and everything. But apart from that, I can't really think of something that was really the first that popped up. Because this sense of longing and melancholy in it, and also beautiful, longing for somebody.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you talked about music and about singing it, and not the first, but one of the big songs in Brazil is Chega de Saudade by João Gilberto, and it became João Gilberto's name became worldwide popular in music because he made this album with Stan Getz. It's Getz Gilberto, the name of the album. I don't know if you have heard it. Yeah, probably. But yeah, and he has this song Chega de Saudade that is very Brazilian, not only because of the word, but it's the song that kind of defines what is bossa nova. And he just created this movement with, I find really beautiful that involves this word specifically, like one of the most Brazilian things brought involves essentially this word, saudade.
Yeah.
That is a very Brazilian thing. And I think that's very beautiful. Like, I like to see people talking about language, and I think that phrase that I told you about the mango tree is one of the prettiest things I've ever heard. You know, it's so real.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like to now. I need to shift the subject to something more objective because of the theme of the work that I'm doing. So I'd like to know your relationship with the music, not only in Brazil but in Sweden, and in Swedish and in Portuguese, in English, in French, and not only with music but something about culture, as well. Yeah, you work now, right? The magazine.
Yeah, the brand management of L.
And it discussed lots of things that involves culture, like you have the architecture part of it, as far as I know, architecture, mode, fashion, and all of this involves culture in each place. And I think it's very, now we're living in a world that is, the informations about countries are more accessible than before. So I want to know how you feel about music, fashion, architecture, everything that involves culture, majorly music because you're a musicist, but in this world where information about every country is very much more available, and you are a person that has been born in Sweden, you have a relationship with a Brazilian guy, live in France, talk English, so you are a worldwide person, and I want to know your point of view about this long thing that I just said.
Yeah, that's true. I have a very international perspective on things. I think to start with music, it really has a very emotional force. It talks to things deep in the mind, and apparently it changes a bit your time perception and everything. So it really has the strength of bringing out emotions and memories and feelings. And so yes, the music which you grow up is really important. And in Sweden, traditionally, the Swedish folk songs have this melancholic string, because Sweden is like huge forest, cold, darkness, long winters, and it's very melancholic.
Yeah, I told my uncle about this when I heard Out of Reach, the song that you made. I told him that it was very uh, like I feel like into the woods, you know.
Oh yeah.
It had some element
Yeah.
of like forest. I don't know what it is, but
interesting.
it just made me feel like I was kind of, you know,
Interesting.
some folky thing.
Yeah,
You
it's
think
really about
that-
the sea,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I grew up in the forest, and it's really my element. So yeah. So, but what's interesting with this melancholic string is that you can find it in Brazilian music too, and also in some Afro-American like jazz. So I think that's what talks to me, because yeah, those are emotions, expressions of culture and also climate and hardship that you can find in many places. But there is a connection there. But if we speak about other art forms, I think some are more international and some are more tied to local culture. I think fashion is quite global, for example. Now, of course, because traditionally, of course, every culture had their very specific clothes, but today it's very global. But when you come to interiors, for example, it's a little bit less global, although quite global. And music, depending on one's style, it's becoming more and more global too. But then everything is so globalized that nowadays you can find everything. And it's contrary. It's not like when we grew up that it was just one fashion. You listen to either like two groups. Now you can listen to everything, you can wear what you want, or so.
But you look at this in like it's liberating to consume everything, or you look at this from a point of view that is like maybe we are tearing cultures apart and just becoming a big group, but it's important sometimes to know where you came from and to be back to where you are, you know, and just feel that connection and that kind of a hug, you know, from the word and from the music.
Is really important. Whereas it's any cultural form. But to know where you come from, but also to be able to mix it with with new forms of or new styles.
Yeah.
So that it's not just either one or the other.
Yeah.
But to know your culture is really, and what it really means. And that's interesting because when I started singing Brazilian music, it was pure hazard. It was just, I met some people that pushed me to do it. I wasn't really interested in it, to be honest, at the beginning. Yeah. But then I started to discover it, and I think, wow, this is great. But so first I didn't understand the words, and then understood the words, and then really to understand the deeper meaning and to know the culture that I've started to do now with my Brazilian boyfriend that has taken me here and explained so much, and to see the cultural expressions that are really different sometimes from Europe, but really different, and to so that to get the deeper meaning behind the songs.
Yeah.
So, for example, I'm part of the like a amateur class for Brazilian music, just for fun, and we're supposed to sing the song Fica de Guiné,
Yeah.
and I understand really well Portuguese now, but I didn't understand that song. What is this about?
But that song, it's
Exactly.
a peculiar song. It talks
Very
about
peculiar.
Religion.
Exactly. So I looked it up and I was like, wow, okay, so this is really. So I was like, can I really sing this? It's cultural appropriation, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's about. So yeah, that's when the music and songs take a deeper meaning.
Yeah.
So you're not just singing words.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we have a good material, but I would just like this is an important interview. Like this moment is important, but the thing that is majorly the essence of it is it's not the subject we're talking about. It's more um like you, and I think that talking with someone shows a lot more about who you are, not with the words that you say and the things that you say, but with how you behave and how you say things and how you show your passion about things with the way you talk about things.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I just wanted a last thing from you. I asked about your favorite word in Portuguese.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know your favorite word in Swedish. And the meaning of it in Portuguese, if you can explain it.
Oh, I have no idea.
You have no idea.
No, I'm sorry. I can't. If I think about something, I can tell you later. But right now, because when with your own language, maybe you don't have that outside view on it. Just
natural.
Yeah, and think in it. But I haven't thought of like a favorite word.
No, that's perfect. That's a nice answer.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about this.
Okay.
In your natural language, you maybe don't observe it that much, but it's something to think about to.
Or maybe
to start.
It's just me.
No, I think that we sometimes Brazilians in Brazil and maybe Swedish in Sweden. Sometimes people just let lots of things in their own backyard slip just to see other people's backyard, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's a nice message for us to hear more about our language and our things. And I was talking to you about this, like people here, when someone from abroad comes, it's just lots of curiosity and asking things, and they want to show things, but yeah, sometimes people are just there, you know. It's not like I had a recent experience in which an Italian friend of mine, he was my friend's cousin, and we became friends, and I found it so it had pissed me off when people would introduce him and would say like, oh, he's Italian and he's our friend, and I would, no, he's our friend and by the way, he's Italian, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know why I entered in this subject, but it's just something that I really think about. And yeah, that's it, if you wanna.
But maybe there are less foreigners here.
Less?
Not many foreigners living here.
In Brazil or in Espírito Santo?
Yeah, in Brazil and Espírito Santo that are part of the Brazilian community. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because in cities like international cities like Paris, it's so natural that there's.
But I think maybe in São Paulo.
Yeah.
you can, it's more natural.
Mm.
But Brazil has a large population of people from outside, like Japan
Yeah.
and Germany and Italy.
Mm.
But I don't know, I think there's something that makes people fascinated about it, and I don't blame them. I'm fascinated as well. By the way, you can get very much money. I don't know if you know this, but if you just start a channel reacting to Brazilian music, you're getting way much money. Like I'm that serious. You just put a title like Swedish reacting to song, some song.
That's a good
And
idea.
it will like blow.
Good way to make money.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. I think I
Okay.
have everything that I need.
Okay, well, thank you. It was a pleasure.
The pleasure is mine. Esse foi meu trabalho para professor Fábio Malini, baseado na vida que ninguém vê de Eliane Brum. Mais tarde escreverei o texto e encontro vocês segunda.
Agora, final, acabou a bateria.
Tá ótimo.
Ai,
Vamos dar um
O
corte.
agradecimento dele.
Dá um corte seco.
Você consegue.
Tá quente, né? Galera, tá quente.
tá quente.
Gostou? Bom.
Ah, ok.
Muito legal, muito
Legal.
legal.
Foi um prazer, viu?
Ah,
Muito
prazer
legal.
também.
Arrasou.